Good morning. Well, good afternoon. I guess it's afternoon, probably like 12:30. Garden lovers, good afternoon. So, it is August 22nd. So, I thought we'll walk around the garden with kombucha in hand. I'm not gonna lie, I probably overate something that I know was gonna do it to my stomach, which is a pineapple casserole. I know it's like a Thanksgiving side dish for you guys that's not from the South, but it goes well with honey baked ham or ham or even turkey. But anyway, but I make it all the time during the year because it's an easy snack, or like if I'm hungry and I need something really quick. So it's like, you put everything in a bowl and you bake it. Peach, hold on. Peaches, get out of there. She was in the middle of the Gallarda. But anyway, so yeah, I have to drink this, and I like this kind. It's called gingerade. I tried the other ones, but it's nothing like gingerade. But then again, I like ginger, so it's probably a little strong for somebody that's not used to ginger. But it's so refreshing. I know a couple of people that like it. That's not like me. But yeah, so hold on. Take a sip. Cover it up so we can walk in the garden. So I was here early, but disclaimer. So I usually sweep my path, but it's been raining, so and it's about to be fall, so there's a bunch of dogwood leaves that is on the path, but I'm sure you can forgive me for that. So I'm very picky about the path. I usually, like I said, sweep it. But anyway, this morning I planted this. And if you're not on Instagram, go look at my post on Instagram where I posted when I planted this guy. It looks really bad right now, and I'm very sad because shipping was very high. I ordered this from California, from Santa Rosa actually, and because it's the only place, I mean, no offense, but they were very, very good. They're a wholesaler, actually, nursery, but I'm not a wholesale. I don't have a business, so that they sent it to me anyway. And so the common name is brass buttons. I can't wait for you guys to see this. So for now, there's one tiny bloom, and that's very insignificant right now, but you'll see when they bloom. I'll make a video and show you guys. So, but while I was planting that, the reason why it looked like that, I'm sorry, it's not the grower's fault. So they packed it, they shipped it, they sent it. I'm not gonna name names because most of the time they get it, they do a delivery, a good job. One of these famous delivery companies, and they do a good job, like I said, most of the time. But that time they kept messing around. They kept saying, oh, you were not home, and you need to sign. Like, no, that's not true. Actually, you don't sign for plants. You just leave it on the porch or wherever. But anyway, that's the past, and now it's in the ground. I just planted it. It's been delivered for probably a week and a half, but I kind of babied it a little bit, and I soaked it in water and put it in the sunshine, thinking that it would like stand up and correct itself, because this would have been taller, but like I said, it was in the box for a couple of days. So yeah, I got sidetracked again. Where was I? So I was planting that, and then I received a phone call, and so I was just talking on the phone, and I had my rinkety clippers, and I was just gonna deadhead this Achillea. But anyway, so I was doing that, and then I turned around and I saw this, and it was just so beautiful in this light. And there was a moth, hummingbird, and a couple of bumbles, and I was trying to, pull weeds from the, border. But anyway, I don't know if it translates well on camera, but it is so beautiful because of the rain. I mean, it's August, and in August, most of the plants are really pitiful looking and sad. It makes me sad at the same time, and, get kind of discouraged. But today, it was so beautiful, and so happy to see pollinators just doing their job as if rushing, because obviously there's a rain coming again. But yeah, so this is actually the autumn or fall garden. So most of these plants in here are fall blooming, except for the bluebeard, this bush. The bluebird beard, like a man's beard, or Caryopteris is the botanical name. They bloom from when they stand up in spring until the frost, unless there's a drought and they stop blooming and they look brown, and but whatever. Today it's beautiful, and it is sustaining the pollinators, so that's the most important part. And then the sedums are also coming up because it's almost fall, and this is the autumn joy, the old standby. So easy to grow. If something falls off, you just literally throw it somewhere and it will just grow. And then this is an old standby as well. I planted this a long time ago. I don't even know what the name is. So it has a dark stem, and the flowers start, instead of green like the autumn joy, it's this beautiful kind of rosy, yummy, dark and I was gonna say gloomy. It's not gloomy by any chance at all. It's so beautiful, and the leaves is kind of purplish. So rosy tone flower it will have, and then the obedient plants. This is just covered with obedient plant. My sister-in-law laughs at me whenever I say obedient plant, because it's really not so obedient. But I planted it here. I don't amend the soil. I don't do nothing to it except water when they look kind of weepy in the middle of summer. And look, they are ready to go for fall, and it's not even September yet. So, but anyway, there'll be like a succession, because look, there's bloom in the front, and then in the back they just have their bloom spikes, so they're not gonna bloom until hopefully close to September. And then also, oh sorry, like I said, I was clearing the edge. And then this elephant garlic, it's so beautiful. I love them, and I need to buy more. It's just so refreshing in the middle of summer when everything is so dead and sad, and one kind of separated itself and move it close to the border, which is thank you. And there's also that actually also kind of established itself in there, so it's a pretty big clump now. And of course the sun came up. But anyway, let's go in the shade and see what else is blooming. Of course, the old standby, the butterfly bush, the miniature pugster. There's a butterfly and this zinnia. And that's actually the zinnia that volunteered reseed from last year. And those are the new ones over there, which is the Queenie lime. And that one over there, I'll show you up close when I get there. And there's a little butterfly weed bloom. And I was really tempted this morning to pull that large Gora that's gone wild. So I'm gonna dig that up. I guess not today because it got sunny again. And I'm gonna move that to, sorry, I got distracted by the butterfly, to the front garden. Oh, here's a Queenie lime. I love it. So I'm gonna plant it again next year. I love Queenie. And then that one right here is rattlesnake master. So it goes well with the Cotula or the brass buttons, because of the ball shaped flowers, and the butterflies actually love them. So there is that. And then the Day of the Dead flowers, like I promised, that would bush out. It's pushing out a little bit. I should have, no, I'm not regretting how I planted it. So because I couldn't really plant them close together because there's that a chorus in there. So, and it was transplanted. It didn't like where it was, so I transplanted it. It was on the verge of dying, and so that's why all the Day of the Dead flowers. What are they even called? Do you know? Yes, you know. I'm just teasing. And then the most beautiful darkness next to the light is this pretty coleus that I will definitely plant again next year as well. Look how big it got. It was like on a 4-inch pot sale. I mean, you know, there you can literally pinch one and grow it in water, and I think that's what I'm gonna do before they die. So I can grow it on the window and then put it in the ground next year. How about that? So yeah, so this is under the dogwood, And the ajuga are going strong. So yeah, the Cotula, the one that I just planted, actually is a ground cover. So if you can imagine, that was empty there until this morning. and I think this is, oh, let me smell it. This is the American germander. It's very invasive, so I'm gonna have to think about that. But they're just growing in this area, so as long as it doesn't jump far, I think I'm good. Oh my goodness, it's now hot. So let's go beside the butterfly garden, or behind, and look at my bronze fennel. Look how pretty. It's not upright. I'm gonna plant more because for the butterflies, some butterflies, this is a host plant, and look how pretty the flower is. Can't get over it. But anyway, so I have a couple of videos on Instagram. It had a bunch of caterpillars, early summer, late spring. Hold on, let me get a drink. Cheers. And so there's the sedum again, the dark stemmed. Can you see it from the sunlight? Yeah, it's not growing well there. It's very shady under the tree. And everything here, this is not deadheaded. I'm leaving it for the finches, the birds. So, or am I? I don't know. Maybe I can deadhead some and leave some. But here's the Gora. Gora gone mad. So, and I deadheaded the Pugster Blue. You see the hummingbird moth? You see it? So it was, you didn't really have to deadhead. I think it was bred for the new flowers to just grow over the old ones, but it was looking kind of funky, so I cut off a lot of dead blooms, and it looks a little better, but it looks sparse at the same time. But it's okay. Butterflies. And this one is leaning towards the path, and that's the liatris. The cosmos, which receded from last year, it's leaning over, but this plant, just like a climbing rose, when it goes vertical and faces the sun, they bloom more. So that's that. And oh, too bad it's not Halloween. You probably can't see it, but oh no, here it is. There's a spider. You see the spider? It's a spider web. Anyway, I just went under the web. But that grass is beautiful in this light. Actually, it's catching, I don't know, the ultraviolet rays, and it's glowing. It's just glowing. So yeah, so let's oh, here's another view of the queenie. Queenie weenie. There's a queenie, different coloration of queenie. So like I said, that's the queenie green. So the apothecary garden, I deadheaded this black-eyed Susan, which is the prairie sun, and so I don't know, I don't think it's gonna bloom again, but it's okay because I'm gonna move that anyway. And this volunteer gallarda or blanket flower is happily blooming there along with the erigerons. I am so happy with the erigerons. I can't even tell you. And then this Demona David Austin rose. It's just been blooming a lot this year. So I kind of deadheaded and cut back some of the stems to make it more bushy. It was kind of leggy because it was growing in a pot, and so that's why it looks kind of skinny right now. And then here's the native bee balm or monarda. Got eaten by some vines, which is, this is a new growth, but this vine is the bitter melon, and you can see all the yellow flowers of the bitter melon. Isn't that beautiful? Yeah, it's beautiful. And then of course the black-eyed Susan vine is climbing up nicely, and I planted it kind of late, and so that's why it's not so thick in the cattle panel. But this cattle panel is what, 4 feet wide. So, and there's the flowers, so they're just ground cover as well. So they're covering the ground there. Look how pretty they are. So, ooh, oh, a flower just dropped into the tea plant. It's beautiful. It's my favorite, and it goes well with the cappuccino black-eyed Susan, or they call it sunbeckias. I don't want to call them that, but you know, what can you do? And then that one is also newly planted. It's the cut leaf false sunflower, I think, or it's one of the coreopsis. It's a cut leaf coreopsis. It's a native, and it's very different from the regular coreopsis, the leaves and the flowers. And then this new catmint that I have, which is the Prelude Blue. It looks just like a penstemon now that it's blooming more. Literally just planted days ago. It looks so happy there. So it's also one of those. So the Cotula, the one I just planted, I can't find it in my local area, not even close to my local area. It's kind of famous in the California desert type climate, since it's native from South Africa. So they don't sell it here quite often. But before we go, look at this Camellia sinensis, the tea camellia. It has grown. Oh my God, it loved the heat, and because when it was raining, it looks like it was having a root rot, kind of situation, and it was getting yellow. And then the sun came out, and look how big it's got and thick. It's way thicker than early this spring. So here's that view under the cattle panel. So yeah, I guess I'm not gonna do a long video because it's just too sunny now. But that's always the story of my life. You know, I'm like, oh, I'm gonna make a video, and boom, the sun comes out. But before we go, I'm gonna show you one more plant that I'm so excited about. Is this Helenium, which is named after me, or it's a Helen's plant, or Helenium. So it just started blooming. I wish the sun is not so bright, but it's so fall. And then I planted that tiny canna, so it's gonna grow tall, and it's gonna go so well with this color. It's that dark-leaved canna. But of course, the butterflies are thanking God that the rain didn't come yet before they run out of time getting food. So they're taking advantage. So I'm glad for them. So I mean, you know, I'm praying for more rain, but they also need their moment because they can't fly around in the rain, as you know. So, and there's the euphorbia, wild. Oh, and also the daylilies. The yellow purple deoro. There's one that was done. You know, daylily, they bloom so quick. So they're blooming. Oh, this one didn't open yet. So I'm so happy. It's the first time since I planted them. And oh yeah, and then I got some plant supports from Walmart the other day. So this guy, it's like a half moon support. It's like, I don't know, $2. So I got a couple of those to stake up all this. This is the butterfly weed. I think this is the swamp, which is the pink. So it's a little taller than the regular one, the orange one. And there's a monarda over there. There's another monarda, but it's holding its own. So, and this short monarda actually bloomed. And maybe it will bloom again if I cut it off, because they're supposed to bloom in the fall. And there's a part of this tall monarda is the short ones. And I like that it's kind of leaning against the baby statuary. And then, oh, I planted also a false indigo here. This is just a purple one, I guess the native. So it was small, but it was $5. So you know how it is. And then there's this lilac that I still have to take care of. And look, it's not looking so good. But soon, I think hubby's gonna help me clear out the old garden that needs to be cleaned up, and that's where I'm gonna put the lilac. And then the deer, I told you, finally found hostas, but this one is recovering. So it's the curly fries, it's recovering. And so that's all I can hope for, I guess. And those are the native Christmas fern that I dug up with the Native Plant Society. bunch of leaves just fallen because of the storm, the everyday storm, which I'm not complaining. The leaves, the tree leaves can just, you know, ruin everything, but it's okay. It's okay. You have to pick your battles, right? Either your plant survive or your garden look a little messy. So yeah, and so here's another coleus that I was really happy. It didn't get too wild big, and it's kind of like coordinating with this what's the name of this? It's like type of begonia upright blush. I think I'm actually gonna dig this up and bring it inside because I really like it, and it has yellow flowers. But look how well it contrasts or coordinates with that. Beautiful. Oh my God. What happened to this guy? Oh my goodness. The heartache of gardening. Yeah, something went in there. Probably a deer trying to eat it and then didn't like it. So hopefully it learned its lesson. Oh, and then the new soon-to-be tree, Rose of Sharon, is blooming as well. I always love that color. There's that burgundy deep red throat. So, and it's just white. It's not crazy. It's just perfect. And then there's verbenas in there in that pot. I don't know if you can see. It's a perfect pink. It's called, I can't remember, but it's a proven winner. I don't know if you can see, it's so pretty. But it's on that one side. And then there's a red on the other side. So pink and red, I was hoping, but then this big lamb's ear, a tiny leaf lamb's ear is kind of taking over the front. So, but at least they're doing well. That's all I can ask. So yeah, there's the butterflies. There's the sun. So I think I'm gonna end the video here because it's very hot now. It was so beautiful early this morning. And I don't know if you can see the obedient plants across the way. And also my cedar is doing well. I didn't have to fuss at it because, you know, I planted it on Mother's Day and I didn't have to water it every day, and it's just doing so well. I'm so happy and glad about that tree that would soon be the focal point of this garden, aside from the limelight. So speaking of limelight, or speaking of hydrangea, I actually was contemplating about planting maybe a row, not typically a hedge because I don't want it to be side by side, you know, like little soldiers in the new garden in the front. But I'm considering other options, like there's a new proven winner. It's called Storm Friendly. It's a Incredible. It's a storm friendly Incredible, but I don't know if it will do well in my harsh full sun. And when I say full sun, it literally is sun from 9 to 7 p.m. So I might have to just go with the limelight because it's, you know, look at it here. It's proven to do well in real heat. So I don't know, I have to, and plus the storm friendly one is not even out in the market yet, unless you find it in some specialty, but it's supposed to be in the market like next year. But like the big accounts, YouTube gardens, they're getting the first dibs so they can show us mere little people what it would do. But you know, I'm not mad about that. I'll just wait, I guess. So yeah, this is the video for the 22nd of August. I hope everybody is doing well and staying cool and doing happy summer things. We usually don't go anywhere until like our anniversary, which is the end of September, and we go to the beach most of the time. But yeah, I'm kind of like a homebody person. I'd rather stay and spend that money with plants, you know. Yeah, I mean, you know, you think that I should be done with plants right now, but I'm actually not. I'm actually doing these videos to kind of critique and see where the holes are in the garden, and kind of, you know, because I'm not a garden designer, I'm actually a plant person. So I buy plant that I love or like when I see them, or after research, and then I bring him home, and then I just find a place. And I found that I'm not the only one. Even people with great gardens that are plant people that are like that. They love the plants, so they come home and then they walk around with the plant, you know, for a couple of days until they find a perfect place for that. And that's the purpose of my video as well, my videos. And I look back on them, especially in the winter time, and I'll be like, oh yeah, that would look better if there's something on this side or this and that, you know. So yeah, I'm not gonna keep you. I'm rambling on again as always. So here's to a beautiful Friday and the beginning of a weekend. And I hope you guys are, you know, having a barbecue, maybe, you know, because summer's almost over. Barbecue with friends, a day at the lake, something, while I'm over here whiling away, wiping sweat on my forehead. But I'm loving my life in the garden, and I hope you are too. So until next time, I see you again, dear garden lovers, somewhere down the garden path. Bye.